Am I the meanest? Am I the prettiest? Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
All right, you know this is Tim of the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And sure enough, I am the man. I like to say it, I like to admit it, because we all know that it's true. Just like Malik Willis is going to come to the Giants. The Malik Willis Express is going to roll into the station. We all know it's going to happen. We all know it once. We all want it to happen now. There's so many people now jumping on the Malik Willis bandwagon. I hope they're not breaking their ankles. After just a couple months ago, I was told I was crazy. You were nuts. You were insane to want this kid. And now people can see what he can do. And I've said this a million times. Watch Malik Willis's games at Liberty, but watch the whole game. Don't just watch the highlights. Watch the good, watch the bad. Watch all the things that he can do when everything is breaking down around him, because he had no talent at Liberty. He was the talent at Liberty. Now that he's being showcased with other immensely talented players, he can shine a little. He may have a good day. He may have a bad day, but you know what? The Malik Willis Express is going to keep rolling on down to the station. So, you know what? Day 2 of the Malik Willis Express. We also want to talk about Tyler Linderbaum. We want to talk about centers going into the first round. We want to go see if the Giants have the audacity or the strength or the wherewithal to maybe take Malik and then take a center and kind of cure the offensive line woes and the quarterback woes that the Giants have had for the last 3 seasons. Maybe. Just maybe. But you know what too many people are doing?
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
You're jumping on the Malik Willis Express at the right time. He had another outstanding day at the Senior Bowl. Heavy rains and heavy winds couldn't even stop this kid. He even showed a little touch today. He showed his scrambling ability. He showed his speed. He showed how he can be a playmaker behind center. Baby Vic Ultralight, whatever you want to call him. If the Giants are not seriously considering this kid, I think the organization is going to be taking another step back. But that's okay. We have to think about this because we have to think about the long-term future of this team. We have to think about everything that could happen and will happen. Now, we also have to worry about the fact that you got the Detroit Lions sitting there with 2 needed a quarterback. You got the Houston Texans who needs a quarterback. So we got 2 teams ahead of us that potentially could be taking the Malik Willis. I would not be happy if he was gone. Potentially some defensive players would fall to the Giants that we need. But you know what? You got to go with Malik. You got to find a way to get this kid excitement. I don't want to see him being exciting in Detroit. I don't want to see Houston finding another Deshaun Watson. I don't want that. I want the Giants to get out of the doldrums known as Daniel Jones and just move forward. Do it right. Do it the right way. And we will have our next.
Gotta get to work.
Willie Beeman.
That's right.
Number 13.
Yes.
Albuquerque Aztecs. 4-time Pantheon Cup winner. Even he endorses Malik Willis. Just check out my Twitter page. Online Big Blue 1 on Twitter. Because even Willie Beeman knows. Even Willie Beeman knows. I want to talk about Tyler Linderbaum. The Linderbaum. Interesting enough, if you take a look going back, and we're going to try to keep in the modern era. If you go back, there's really only been since 2003, I think how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 centers taken in the first round. The Ponce, I can never say Mike's name. The kid from Pittsburgh who played well, and his brother who played well in Miami. They were taken in the first round of 2010 and 2011. The highest pick was in 2011 when his brother who went to Miami at the 15th overall pick. Nick Mangold's on that list. A guy named Chris Spencer's on the list. Jeff Fain is on the list. Alex Max, Eric Wood, and what's his name? Fredericks. I can't remember Fredericks' first name. Trevor Fredericks, who's taken 31st. There might be another center in there that I've missed, but there's not a plethora of centers that go in the first round because of the fact that the draft, of course, has a position value for each round. Each position has a value. And that value is indicated by where you normally try to draft somebody. And center has never been a high position value. Now, you can look at the list and say, you know what, there are some guys that have come off, the list. Out of those 8 guys that I mentioned, they combined for 22 Pro Bowls. But I think the brothers and Nick Mangold had a lot more to do with that. Eric Wood wasn't bad. Eric was a pretty good center. He made the Pro Bowl too. So it's not a high value position pick for the first round. Just hasn't been because it's an interior lineman. What's an interior? I mean, you can find a center. Dwight Stevenson went in the second round. Jeff Saturday was an undrafted free agent. You could find a center later in the draft. The history proves that. The history shows that. And like I said, we're only going to modern history. We're not going to go back to the old age that I like to, the golden age of football that I like to refer to. But it's just, you just don't take a center that high. So I was taking a look at the Linderbaum. I was trying to figure out, is he worth a seventh overall pick? We won't take him fifth. Is he worth a seventh overall pick? The guy is 6'3", 290 pounds. I'm not going to say he's a slight of size for a center. He's projecting to be a high-level quality starter in the NFL coming right out of college. And he's a guy that I've been watching some of the tape. I've been watching some of the film. He's highly polished. He's very cerebral in the way he attacks from that center position. I'm not going to say he is a weapon because he's not, but he's a guy that can move the pile. He has some unique traits, I personally think, that could help solidify a line, especially a line that's in flux like the Giants, because we don't know what's going to go with Nick Gates. We don't know if he's coming back. He's going to fit more into a heavy pass, heavy screen. I would say a play action type scheme, maybe a little bit of wide zone. He's a guy that he's going to do all the little things well. He's a tough kid. He's tenacious. He's not the biggest, and that's why I keep telling people, he's not the biggest. He's not the strongest, but he has a nice frame in reference to being able to block as an interior lineman. He's a guy that it's a great cliche, and a lot of people don't know it, but he's a guy that plays through the end of the whistle. So in other words, he doesn't stop. He just keeps motoring. To him the play is never over till the next play starts. He gets excellent leverage for his size. He's great at basically burying linebackers and safeties in the second level as a run guy. I mean, he plays the game. He plays the game like a lightning bolt. He plays at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that's what makes him special. It's interesting because his leverage, it's kind of seemed like it's kind of built into his frame. He's kind of got that slow center of gravity, which allows him to stay attached to bigger body guys. And for a guy that's not huge, he's kind of a power rusher. And he plays extremely well, which is important in space. And he actually has good to great adjustment and reference to his technique. But you also have to look at his lateral movement, the way he moves from side to side. He's very fluid. And again, these are all things that are very important to have as a center. And it's just his agility. He can redirect. He can really close the gap on delayed rushers. He has a full range of both the running game and the pass game. His footwork again, his footwork is I'm not going to say phenomenal, but it's great for college. He gets a great push. For a guy that's not filled with raw power, it's his lower body mass that helps him basically play larger than he is. Which is great. And you know another thing, he's got bear paws. I always use that term. He's got bear paws. He locks onto you with those mitts. It's over. And again, people will talk about the lack of ideal reach, and he doesn't have the prototypical wingspan that you want to see. Justin Pugh. But he's a center. He's an interior lineman. So I really don't care if he's got alligator arms. I don't care if he's got Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. I don't care. Because he's an interior lineman. And he's a guy that has played, like I say, he played at a high level over the last 3 seasons. He's extremely mature. I mean, these are things that people talk about. I don't know about it personally, but these are things that you hear about him. He's one of those guys that's fundamentally beyond his years as a prospect in college. that you almost think you could have took him in his like sophomore year and dropped him into the pros and still played better than half the centers in the league. But like I said, he doesn't have the ideal height. He doesn't have the ideal weight. He doesn't have the ideal arm lengths, but he's got all the intangibles. And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's the intangibles that make you a great player or make you a good player. And that's what you need. That's what you need to look at. And if you take a look at just the way he blocks with, in the pass, he showcased really good footwork, good foot speed. I mean, from what I've saw, it looks like he's got very good foot speed. It looks like he's got very good foot placement. You'll have a hard time finding a speed guy, especially on the interior line, that's going to get around him. He's got, and like I said, it's just, he doesn't look the part of the center. To be honest, if you take a look, he doesn't look the part of the center, like a high quality center, but I just see, you do see what he's done. You look what he's done in college. You look what he's done at Iowa, and you just think this is a kid who has talent, who has the right mindset, and he has the ability, even though he doesn't showcase all the physical attributes that you would like in an offensive lineman, but he has something. Is he worth the 7th pick overall? If you go back in history and look, no, centers are not picked this high for a reason, because they can be found later in the draft. Is he going to be the gold jacket touched by God, according to our former general manager? I don't know. I think he's a first rounder. That I truly do. Do I think that he is worth the 7th overall pick? No, I don't think he's worth the 7th overall pick. If we had the ability to trade down for him, maybe into the lower, I would say in the early teens, I would think that would be a better situation, because you know what? You need somebody. You're going to need someone. You got to fix this line. But if we have a quarterback like Malik Willis coming in, and you know what Malik Willis loves to do?
Malik Willis, bring him the boom.
He likes to bring out that big boomstick. And what would be better? What would be a better? What would be a better situation for Malik Willis if he had Linderbaum and he had Andrew Thomas, and we try to figure out the rest of the line? You could have a center quarterback tandem for 10 years and move forward that way. Now, like I said, do I think Linderbaum should go in the top 10? No. I would say early teens, maybe 13, maybe 14. Could you have the ability to trade back to get him? Sure, I think you could. But like I said, I'm getting more and more concerned about looking at the draft and seeing Detroit and Houston sitting at 2 and 3 and Malik Willis floating around. Here's my dream. You pick up Malik Willis at 5. You get Linderbaum you trade down. You trade down with, let's say, like Cleveland to 13. And then you get Linderbaum at 13. And I'm not going to say you fixed your offense, but you have 2 components in your offense, in your front 6. You just filled 2 of those spots, and you got another one with Andrew Thomas. Not sure. So people have asked me if I'll be streaming anytime lately. I don't know. I'll definitely stream on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like we always do. Maybe we'll have a stream on Thursday or Friday. I haven't figured that out yet. We're going to have some more Malik Willis talk, okay? Because we're all going to be joining the Malik Willis Express. Everyone's just jumping on board, breaking their ankles, trying to get on the train. And again, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you're in that blank, that means that'd be awesome.